Have you ever felt that sense of dread that comes with knowing that you're caught in a power play? First, it grips your stomach. Then your throat tightens up. Or maybe you feel your pulse quicken as your insides begin to cave. You know you're trapped in a power dynamic when the pull of someone else's agenda yanks you off balance. It might be your boss, or your spouse. Even your teenager can turn into an opponent hell-bent on showing you who's boss. And yet every one of us also comes equipped with a governing sense of self that says, "You're not the boss of me." The tug-of-war that ensues can destroy relationships, ruin careers, and when played out on the world stage, bring an entire nation to its knees. Power struggles are a part of life. The problem is not so much the game itself as the fact that we get caught off guard. Or is it? Who wants to live with a guard up the whole time? What if there was another way to be with power? What if the problem isn't so much power itself as lack of awareness, understanding, and skill? Think of it this way. A power game is a bit like a riptide. Anyone who has ever lived near the ocean knows that when you get caught in a rip current, the worst thing you can do is fight it and swim against it. You are sure to drown if you do that. Power is sort of like that. And yet, the neurology in our base brain is hardwired to fight. Would you be interested in a book that showed you how to swim out of the riptide to safety? And this is the exciting part. That showed you, once you have your land legs, how to sprout wings so that you can fly? Would you like to expand your repertoire when it comes to power? Are you aware of the fact that your heart is a superpower that knows exactly how to finesse and transform any situation so that it can move it toward the highest good for all? Hi, I'm Christian de la Huerta, and I'm participating in the Next Top Author competition. I'm at the same time proud and deeply humbled that my first book, Coming Out Spiritually, was chosen by Publishers Weekly, the Bible of the industry, as one of the 10 best religion books of its year. My forthcoming book, The Soul of Power, will provide useful skills for engaging power in new ways, generating deeper levels of personal fulfillment, self-satisfaction, and effectiveness in the world. It will help you to better understand why we have such a conflicted relationship to power, as well as clarify and enhance your own greatest expression of power in a way that is congruent with who you are, with your spiritual essence. There is so much confusion in the world about power, what it is, who holds it, what it means, how it works. There are also many misconceptions, illusions, and delusions about power. That only the wealthy, the famous, or the politically connected wield it, for example, or that it always corrupts. Part of the reason we're so confused and conflicted about power is that we're actually thinking about it in different ways and talking about different types. This book introduces the concept of soulful or spiritual power in contrast to worldly or egoic power. Worldly power is based on externals: money, fame, class, political connections, social status. It achieves its goals by force, domination, control, or manipulation, and is often abusive, arrogant, or self-aggrandizing. Egoic power always has an agenda, and is selfish and self-serving. It is fear-based, exclusive, and hierarchical. It tends to squelch others or push them down in order to feel powerful. In contrast, soulful power guides and inspires. It is humble, quiet, and unassuming. Its source and energy are internal. It comes from within. Spiritual power is about authentic self-expression. It's about service. It's about making a difference. It is love-based, inclusive, and is not threatened by others having power. It stands freely on its own. It simply is, and it is mighty. The way we embody, express, and relate to power impacts every area of our lives. Our relationships, sex, work, politics, religion. Since relationships are the area of life where most of us tend to forfeit our power, this book will have a substantial focus on relationships, illustrating how we can have powerful, intimate, loving relationships that work, and how we can use them consciously as a vehicle for personal growth, empowerment, and spiritual transformation. Though this book is for everyone, it's driven by the conviction that the empowerment of women is the single most important thing that needs to happen in our world today. It will therefore address women directly and have a special focus on the sacred feminine in all of us. So why must we step into power consciously, with intention? Because if we don't, we will shrivel up in a life of unfulfilled potential and soul-devouring mediocrity. Because if we don't, we will fall prey to power games, such as manipulation, passive aggressiveness, and be stuck in a self-made prison of victim consciousness. From a larger perspective, because the world needs us to. It needs everyone. All of us who have even an inkling or suspicion that we have some kind of work to do to advance our collective evolution on this planet. This is it. All hands on deck. The clarion call has been issued. The world needs us now. As healers, teachers, spiritual activists, as catalysts for change. There has never been a more critical time in the history of humanity. One could say that our very survival as a species is at stake here, and certainly the quality of life on this planet. Thank you so much for taking the time to view this message, and thank you in advance for your vote and your support. If you resonate with the message of this book, please help me get it out there by passing it on to your network. Thanks again. I really appreciate it.